If you're a mid-level to C-suite leader who wants to own your growth and figure out your next small, brave move to achieve your leadership goals, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Small Brave Moves podcast, a weekly deep dive on how to be braver in leadership and in life for exceptional results. I'm your host, Nicole Bianchi, best-selling author, certified master executive coach, NSA certified speaking professional, chief bravery officer, and tough talk expert. If you're ready to become a better, braver, and more authentic leader, let's dive in. Hello, my friends. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the Small Brave Moves podcast. Today, we're discussing one of my all-time favorite subjects, which is being intentional in leadership and in life. I remember opening a leadership session once by asking, when was the last time you were intentional? I mean, really intentional. This question was directed to 20 hand-picked up-and-coming leaders in a Fortune 500 company. These were talented individuals preparing for their next roles in the C-suite, and I wanted them to understand really and deeply the power of intentionality in their leadership journey. Intention is the driving force behind our actions. It can be as simple as intending to drive to work, or as powerful as a mother lifting a car to save her child. The strength of our intentions directly impacts the power of our actions and the results we achieve. To illustrate this, I conducted an experiment with the leaders I mentioned earlier, and I asked them to think of something they had wanted or needed for a long time, something that seemed difficult or maybe impossible for them, and they only had 1 hour to take action with strong intention. The idea was to really push their boundaries and realize the power of focused intent. It's important to create time for deep work, which are activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that really push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, they improve your skills, and are hard to replicate. Being intentional means having a clear purpose and acting on what's most important to you. Every morning, I start with 1 to 3 intentional statements on how I want to be that particular day. When you are being really intentional, it's all about consciously choosing to create the life that you want rather than letting life dictate your actions. A survey by Dr. Mark Williamson, the professor of Renata Salaka, found that 96% of people admitted to living on autopilot. Hey, I've been there too. I know we can fall into that trap, but when we're really intentional, it means breaking free from this and consciously directing your actions, focus, and attention. In 2008, which seemed like a long time ago, but really wasn't, I attended a program called Life Forward as a part of my coaching certification. And this 4-day experience was designed to help us really pause and gain a broad view of our life paths. One exercise involved creating this vision board. And when I wrote down my goal of starting my own business, this intentional act made the goal more real and set the foundation for my future. What's so interesting about that 2008 vision board that I created over those 4 days, we also had a lot of other activities. It wasn't just this vision board. But when I look back on that vision board, I still have it hanging in my closet in my office, that particular one, because that was the first of many to come. And when I look back at that board, I achieved every single goal I set for myself. Maybe not in that exact year, but definitely within those 18 months. So I want you to think about, how can you be an intentional leader? Well, here are some small, brave moves you can start making today. Number 1, own your growth. I want you to think about, how do you engage in continuous professional development? This could be formal training, self-discovery, or just learning from life experiences. Always seek opportunities to grow, because if you don't own your growth, nobody else will. So number 2, add value. Understand what drives the people around you and look for ways to add value to their lives. This strengthens relationship and builds such a supportive network. This really helps you build out a strong circle that you can lean on. Number 3, set goals. Be intentional about what you want to achieve. Set powerful goals that engage you emotionally and intellectually. This clarity will definitely guide your daily actions
and investments of time and energy, where you focus, where you spend your time, and what attention you give things. Number 4, time blocking and deep work. When you dedicate specific blocks of time to focus on important tasks without distractions, you guard this time and you create rituals to keep your effort structured. Now, I'll tell you what, I have been doing time blocking and deep work on Mondays and Friday afternoons, and then every day after 3 o'clock. Because at 3 o'clock, I want to be done with the normal meetings, client-facing meetings, and I really want a chance to do some deep work to get myself ready for the next day. So this has worked really, really well for me the past 2 years. I'm really thinking about the time blocking a little differently. I'm actually going to approach it and start experimenting with a different way to try on some different things. So I'm still going to do the time blocking, but I'm going to shift where I'm putting most of my energy earlier in the day so that I can get to the deeper work quicker versus having to respond to things. Number 5, create accountability. I want you to share your intentions with others to really create that accountability. So it's one thing to write down a goal, and it's another to have somebody come alongside you and help you from an accountability standpoint. We've talked a lot about swim buddy. This is a great chance to have a swim buddy or somebody that you can at least share this intention so that you can do check-ins and create that accountability. You will achieve over a 90% level of success if you do this. This helps us keep focused and committed on our goals. Well, back to our leadership session. After 10 minutes, the leaders were ready to share what they had accomplished in 1 hour. And one leader wanted to learn and write music and play the guitar. And I had really challenged him to write and perform his first song. Another leader wanted to investigate community service opportunities for her team, which is nice, but not really a true intentional stretch goal. But she ended up realizing that she actually wanted to visit her mom in a senior care center nearby. And instead of focusing on the community service opportunity, she focused on spending some very intentional last moments with her mom. Another planned him and his wife's long-delayed honeymoon after 8 years. So these leaders began to understand the power of intention. They realized that there was so much more inside of them than they knew, and that being intentional and doing that deep work is all about making conscious choices and taking proactive steps towards your goals. Here's a daily habit I want you to begin to practice with, and it's called setting our intentions. Because when you're setting a powerful intention, you're creating within yourself a new specific state of mind that serves your purpose in life. So ask yourself these questions before you set your daily intentions. Ask yourself this: what does being my best self look like today? Is there a relationship I want to invest in today? What's one thing I can do for me today? Are there any boundaries I want to set for myself or others today? Could there be any conflicts I can anticipate today? The most important thing I could accomplish today would be what? And then you have a chance to write down 1, 2, or 3 intentions for yourself that day. One of the intentions that I find on my card almost every single day is: you can't control how others show up. You can only control how you do. So bring your A game. And it reminds me just to let loose of and let go of expectations of others, because not everybody is showing up as their best self. But what I can control is my energy, my mindset, and how I show up so that I can best serve others. Brave leaders are intentional. They take that proactive action in the direction of their goals and ensure that their actions align with their values and aspirations. By being intentional, you can create a life and leadership journey that's deep, meaningful, purposeful, and fulfilling. Think about a life of butterfly moments. I hope this episode inspires you to be more intentional in your actions and decisions. Hey, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, maybe even share with a friend. And until next time, keep making those small, brave moves. And remember, intentionality is the key to powerful leadership. You've got this.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Small Brave Moves podcast. If you're wanting to take this work even deeper, I'm here to help. From engaging in inspirational keynote speeches to transformational coaching and workshops for leaders and teams, page-turning books, online courses, and enlightening leadership development retreats. There are so many ways that we can work together to take your leadership to the next level. For more information, check out the show notes, and let's do this together, one small brave move at a time. See you next week.